This is almost like having a sales coach with you at every step of the journey, so you can have the interaction and adjacently also improve productivity significantly by perhaps asking it to make a proposal for you or even generate a statement of work. So this is the key piece looking retrospectively and how I guess we adhere to the enterprise sales frameworks. All of the kind of training here of these AI agents is based on best practice medic literature and aligned with the organization's sales playbook to ensure that we're providing the right type of advice at the right moment within that call.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, me too.
This is so cool. But should I let you finish first?
No, feel free to dive in.
I was just gonna ask around, like, does it basically have an output of here are all the answers to the MedPick criteria for the seller to utilize?
So it gives you mentions essentially. So it gives you
Okay.
mentions of where you've found certain things within the call. So the seller can see, okay, have they mentioned the decision criteria? And then the associated section is then quoted. So they have some foresight as of to the point in the call where that was discussed. And then segment that into coaching related actions. So these are the actions you can take forward aligned with that pastor framework. And then they're more proactive suggestions to ensure that you can enhance the remainder of the sales process.
And can it do it on an account level? So, like, you might have multiple sales calls with an account. Can it basically summarize, like, through these 3 calls, this is the score, or is it call by call?
Yeah, precisely. So it gives you an overall score as to a particular deal. So you can see the MedPick score, the risks and recommendations at that macro level, looking across all of the meetings, all of the interactions with the customer across that particular deal that's been run. So here you've got that high level glance that sales managers can use and also reps can use to ensure that they're making the right decisions and mitigating the risks accordingly.
Just one small bit, for example, the green there would reflect that perhaps in an earlier meeting you had all of the blue was your score, and then the lighter green is a subsequent meeting you maybe addressed the gaps around the paperwork process, for example. So you can see that's moved on quite significantly overall within the overall deal perspective.
Yep. Does it do it at a seller level too? Like, can it analyze all of an individual seller's calls and see, like, where they have the gaps within MedPick?
Yeah, I mean, I think when Leo first spoke to me about the solution, that was one of the things that I thought was most powerful. So you can actually has a reporting capability so that you could view across a whole sales team or slice them in a different direction and get, for example, a medic score, or if you used a different methodology, the same score, and you could see that maybe certain individuals were never asking questions around maybe economic buyer. So it's maybe a point that would require some coaching, but you can also look at win-loss analysis and the scoring against, won deals and where you've got kind of common gaps either as team or an individual. So very powerful, and certainly all the larger organizations we show the solution to or looking at the solution have got real interest in that.
The first question I have is around actually the sales enablement. So how the sales enablement can actually use this? They have to go to this Salesforce, or they have to come here to see the kind of output at the aggregate level by team and the teams that are actually non-performing or underperforming in general. So how they would use that to do their work and ensure that, they're setting up the programs that enhancing their abilities to sell and be effective with that.
Sure. So essentially this updates a Salesforce instance. So there's a two-way mirror between Curvo and Salesforce. So at all times, the two systems are completely succinct. What we tend to find is sales enablement personas actually spend a lot of time within Curvo for reporting and for finding the key gaps and training opportunities within their teams. And that's because it adds an extra layer of intelligence over what the CRM can naturally provide, and therefore enables them to tailor what type of training programs would be needed, or see in fact which reps are underperforming and where they can perhaps direct their attention and focus to ensure that, those reps are given the right type of training and that's put into place